spent 3 years trying to scale a lead generation agency over $1 million a year. And after 1,000 days of pushing myself, trying my best, and working hard, I'm going to share with you what I know about scaling a lead generation agency, from signing clients to what niches and services worked insanely well for me. Before talking about all of that, let me take you 3 years back before I started this whole lead generation agency business model. I remember pretty well. I had 23 pounds in my bank account and I was living in my friend's apartment. And I was so desperate to make money that I had to get a job. So I got a job as a small English teacher in a small elementary school. And I was getting paid lower than the minimum wage because I was working under the table. I had no degrees to work in that job. And just soon later, I was forced to find a second job as a delivery driver. And by the way, at that time, because I was living with my friend, paying no rent, ended up saving about 2,500 pounds from those low paying jobs. As soon later, COVID hit and I got fired from that elementary school I was working for because, as I said, I had no degrees, no certification. And the school didn't want to take any more risk by keeping me there. So I went from actually making a little money, even if it was just a little money, to making no money at all. And I cannot really describe how depressing and overwhelming that really was at that time. And even those few bucks were not a lot of money. That was all the money I had coming at that time. And because of that, I got caught into this victim mentality. I was saying to myself that this is not fair. This shouldn't happen to me. I'm so unlucky. I'm never going to make it in life. Then I started playing video games and I started doing actually anything possible to distract myself. I just refused to accept that that was my reality. And I had no way or no plan to fix it. And it was really scary because I knew I couldn't live in my friend's apartment forever. But luckily for me, that depression lasted just a couple of weeks because my friend called me out and said, hey, you're being stupid. You need to figure out something with your life. And sometimes when you're depressed, when you're at the lowest points of your life, you need friends like that. And they call you out on the bullshit that you're doing that's going to just destroy your life. So I got my motivation back again. I started consuming all this online content, from dropshipping to all this bullshit side hustles, and watching all those clickbaity YouTube motherfuckers that wasted thousands of hours of my life. You know, I'm talking about the ones that shared 10 side hustles every day they never tried, and the whole business model was based on making money out of YouTube views, sharing side hustles they never tried, and giving people fake hopes and fake strategies and fake business model that would never get them anywhere, even if they tried. So before starting this lead generation agency, I stumbled upon a YouTube channel one day. I remember this day pretty well. I was on the beach and I found this guy. His name is Alex Litvinchuk, something like that, right? And I found his YouTube channel. So this guy was driving around car dealerships in Texas and he was closing like $5 grand, $5,000 deals, $10,000 deals in person. So he'd show up there, he would pitch them right away, and he would close the car dealership right away. And just moments after watching his videos, I felt that something clicked on me instantly. I cannot really describe how motivated or emotional I got after finally finding a YouTube channel and YouTuber that is sharing a business model that I can see myself replicating, and also I can see clearly that this business model is working. So this guy Alex, he actually gave me hope that I can actually start an agency and make 3 times what I was making from my last job from only 1 client. So this is when I realized what I wanted to do. So I figured out they had a free Facebook group. I joined this Facebook group and I thought, what if I start messaging all those successful agency owners inside this group and telling them that I will do their outreach for free, and they just had to pay me once they signed a client, once they had money, on commission basis basically. It sounded like a fair deal for me because I knew that nobody would trust me at that time. I had no case studies, I had no credibility, and of course, I had no idea how to get those clients. So I wanted to experiment with those agency owners and I gave them an offer they could not refuse. I just wanted to get my feet wet at first. I mean, most of them didn't pay attention or send me a message back, but one person was interested and he decided to give me a shot. So the first thing I did, I started cold calling those car dealerships in multiple time zones for about 10 hours a day. And I remember pretty well, I had no script, no benchmarks, no strategy, no software, nothing at all. I was just simply taking action and hoping I can learn from each mistakes I make in each calls and getting better by each call. Even if I lacked strategy and action, for me at that time, taking action was more valuable than just wasting time learning things. So the first week working with this guy, I gave him like 5 meetings a day on average, which he was very, very satisfied with. He didn't close any client yet because sometimes the sales cycle might be longer, but he decided to pay me $700 after 1 week of working with him because he saw the tremendous amount of work I was doing for him and he didn't want me to basically leave because I was not getting paid. So he decided to pay me up front and I was very happy with that. So I started taking his sales calls and growing his agency with him and just became one of his partners basically. He was not making a lot of money himself, only $4,000, but we managed to help him scale his agency from $4,000 to $12,000 only the first month working with him.
And before I met Sofyan, I was running my own agency. I was specialized to do lead generation for car dealerships. And at this point, I scaled my agency to like 12K a month.
So he was very happy at first, and he even decided to leave me a great testimonial. Because I figured if I had more testimonials, I could land more clients. Then after his testimonial, I landed 4 other agency owners, and I started scaling my business like crazy. So my first client to celebrate his 12K a month, he decided to meet me in person. So he flew me into Koh Samui, Thailand. And at that time, the whole client acquisition process was pretty much 100% automated. I was not doing any cold calls or any cold outreach manually. I decided to delegate them to some VAs in India and basically just taking care of the whole strategy. Then I started getting known inside this Facebook group that I am the guy that can get anyone clients. I started having a lot of agency owners reach out to me inbound asking me to help them out. So I signed 3 new clients, and I had about agency owners that were working with me full time at that time, and I was making about $9,000 a month in total, plus the commissions, but the commissions were not 100% stable. But honestly, I was very happy because I was just working like 4 or 5 hours a day, which is very, very good for me, because I remember when I had like 2 jobs, I was working like 12 to 14 hours a day. So I knew that there is more that I could be doing at that time. And one day I decided to message them all and tell them like that I cannot keep helping them anymore, because I was helping them make a lot of money, sign a lot of clients, and scale their agency to the roof. I was making just a dime. I was making like little money, little portion out of the money they're making. And with that business model, I couldn't scale to basically 20, 40, 50K. I couldn't scale where I want to scale. And I thought, I know how to do outreach. I know how to bring qualified leads. I know how to do sales calls. I know how to close high percentages. But the problem for me was basically just service delivery. I didn't invest any time mastering service delivery. So after that little experiment, I decided to start my own agencies, and I started multiple agencies at that time, like I would say like 5 in total. And most of them didn't reach past 10K a month. I mean, the highest were like 8K, some of them like 4 or 5K. And then I started from scratch again and again and again, because my service delivery was dog shit, and I was not delivering great services to the client, basically, like in terms of Facebook ads, in terms of lead generation. I didn't know what I was doing there, and I was hiring shitty media buyers, sharing lead generation experts, and they were promising me the word. And basically I was just over promising my clients and they're delivering, which is the opposite of what you need to do if you want to scale your agency. So on the 6th agency that I started, I decided to have an offer that is just a no-brainer. I didn't want to be like mixed with the crowd. I knew firsthand from my experience and working with this 8 agencies I work with, that all those agencies, their clients have this problem with converting those leads that come from Facebook to clients. Because most of the time, it's not your fault as an agency owners, but the client sales teams are not doing a great job. And they'll blame it on you, the agency owners, that we're not converting those leads because your leads are shit. So to solve that problem, I decided I needed to start like a sophisticated lead generation agency that was mixed with a lot of AI infrastructures. I like to call it merge advanced, because it's a merge between the old-fashioned Facebook, Google ad, basically services that everybody's offering, and with AI automation tools and also lead generation tools. So I had a license for an AI caller and an appointment setter that basically was powered by AI, and also a couple of chatbots. So what we're doing is we're generating leads from lead generation tools, and also a couple of them are generating also from Facebook ads. And after the lead would fill the form, the AI tool would call it and try to book an appointment directly to the calendar. If the lead didn't pick up the phone on the first try, the AI would still try to call it every day in different hours till they pick up. So here's an example of how those AI calls sounds.
Hello.
Hey there, this is Jarvis. I'm calling. You submitted an internet inquiry a few weeks ago. I wanted to see if you had an opportunity to stop by for the big sale.
No, I didn't. I spoke to someone on yesterday.
No problem. Let me get a better idea of what you are looking for now.
And of course, I'm not going to bore you by showing you all the call. So just by having this offer and controlling the whole lead quality from the top to the bottom of the funnel, I managed to scale my agency to 30K a month. Even sometimes I was selling this infrastructure for $10,000, and it still sounded no-brainer for those businesses, because if they want to employ somebody, that will be like minimum like $40,000 a year that they would pay for that person. So this AI will basically take the call for them, nurture the leads, and basically book the appointments on their calendar. And at that moment, at that specific moment, I knew that a new chapter of my life had opened. I finally cracked the code. I made 30K a month. Now I'm still running my lead generation agency, and I'm still selling the same offer to different businesses. It's working really great right now. And last month we've done over 100K a month in revenue. So this was not only from my agency, but because I take equity in other agencies. So basically I have a program where I scale multiple agencies and they pay me up front, and I also take 15% revenue share. The reason they agreed to give me this 15% revenue share is because They come to me while they're making only like 4K, 5K a month, and I help them scale to 20, 30, 40K a month. We just don't help them to scale by just a coaching, or of course we have a done for you system. So we're basically responsible for bringing them about 80 to 120 appointments per month. And if they don't scale their agency to 10K per month, we basically pay their outreach from our pocket till they hit 10K a month. So it's kind of a no-brainer for those agencies. They come with 5K, they scale to 30K, and they pay up front, but they also, the moment they start with us, they guarantee they're gonna scale to 10K a month, because if they don't, we're gonna pay it from our pockets till they go there. So we see why they pay me 15% in revenue share. So this is where this 100K in revenue last month came from. So because I made plenty of money and my bank account is full, I wanted to celebrate. So the first thing I did is I put a down payment in this apartment right here. And I also bought a $40,000 car, paid in full, even if I can afford like a Lamborghini if I wanted. But I had a difficult life. And I feel more peace within myself when I know, even if I go broke tomorrow, I have money to live the next 10 years without worrying about money. That gives me that abundance mindset and that long-term mindset. I don't have to worry about short-term things. I can basically like invest in a SaaS or a startup and not worry about making money for the next 10 years. And when you have this mindset, there is no way those short-term players can compete with you. So if you have a pre-established agency right now and you want to scale 10K a month, or you're at 10K a month, you want to scale to 50, 60K a month, I would highly advise check out my website in the description and see how we can help you book at least 80 to 120 appointments per month done for you. And if you don't scale to 10K a month, we will guarantee you that we'll pay your outreach from our pockets till you get there.